Chef Alex, thanks so much for having me back in the kitchen. You're going to teach us how to do some duck.
I am. So we have our organic duck breast. It comes from Clear Creek Farms. It's a local supplier. I'm going to show you how to score it up, and then we're going to cook it with a little gastrique sauce, and it's going to be good to go. So first thing is we have to take off the tenderloin on the bottom. So I'm going to quickly remove that. It just doesn't cook up as nicely when you're having nice, beautiful duck breast under here. So then the next thing is we want to just clean up this little sinew here. So I'm going to slide my knife underneath there, trying to get basically as little of the meat as possible. So you want to make sure that it's nice and clean. Any sinew is going to not be tasty. So we're just going to score it. Just going to run our knife across. A nice sharp knife is very important. You want to score down all the way to the breast, but you want to try not to go into the breast. We're going to flip it. We're going to go the other way. So just gently, no pressure is really being applied, letting the knife do all the work, and then we're good, just like that.
Step 2.
Step 2. All right, we're going to do a little sauce gastrique. So we're going to start with some sugar in the pot. If you see any imperfections, you want to make sure you do get rid of them. A little bit of water, just enough to sort of dissolve our sugar. And then we're going to basically bring that to caramel stage. And we're just going to deglaze with a little bit of sherry vinegar to stop the cooking process. And then a little bit of mandarin orange juice that we have here. And then finish off finally with some butter. And then we're going to serve it with some beets. So just a classic duck preparation, sort of prepared with sweet things.
Okay, we got to season the duck.
All right, so from a little bit of height, I'm just going to kosher salt. I like salt. I'm going to make sure it's well seasoned. A little bit of pepper. I'm going to flip it over, add a little bit more salt underneath. I'm going to bring it over to our pan. This is a cold pan I just put on the grill with no fat in it whatsoever. So you see here a little bit of sear, but not much. I want a gentle heat. I want to start to render the fat out on this thick skin here until it starts to get crispy, basically. So we have our sauce gastrique here. Getting to a light caramel. I don't want to take it much farther than that. Want to be careful here. It's going to spit at you. Oh, and be careful not to breathe either. So we're going to give that a quick stir. Now that our vinegar's in there. And all the crystallized sugar from pouring in the vinegar is going to remelt back down into the sauce. So we're going to reduce this down a little bit. You can choose, I chose sherry vinegar. You can choose any vinegar you like. Apple cider works, red wine vinegar, they're all great. So I'm just adding in our mandarin orange juice. And then we're going to let that reduce down as well. You'll see fat is going to start to render out of it, but it is nowhere close. So it's just going to stay there So we have a pan full of fat, and we're just going to discard that. So she's nice and thick.
Okay.
All right, so our duck breast here has been searing on high for a little bit over a minute. It's not going to take long. I'm going to double check it. Feel it right there. And then we're just going to make sure it rests for at least the amount of the cooking time. So we're going to let it rest for 5 minutes. All right, so we are going to slice up our duck breast. See, we have a nice rested duck, crispy skin here, and underneath is nicely seared as well. So I'm going to flip it over onto the skin side, and I'm going to cut it the lengthwise on a nice little bias, nice and thin. Super important that it's nice and thin. Beautiful. So we're just going to plate it up with some beets. We have our duck breast. We have our sauce gastrique. And then just a little bit of garnish. Just to make it look pretty. And we're good. And there we are. We have our duck breast with beets and sauce gastrique.
Chef Alex, thank you so much. That was absolutely delicious. I haven't had duck in forever, and that was delicious. It was a great lesson. I hope everyone tries to do this at home. It's very, very easy to get a really delicious duck going. Give it a try and let me know how it goes. Talk to you soon. See you at the next place.